Hello, beautiful souls. I am so glad you are here with me today. Today we are doing a tarot and oracle reading for the energy surrounding us in August 2020. Normally I do the Zodiac signs, but this month I'm doing it slightly different. We're going to group by elements. I did do the monthly pick a card. That went up on Monday. And today's video is for water signs. So this is for Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. If you enjoy this style where you're grouped together, please let me know down in the comments. So today's video, I am using my Animal Totem Tarot and my Enchanted Map Oracle. Found recently, I have been using a whole bunch of decks, getting a whole bunch of cards, and I feel like I haven't been giving every single message that all the cards have to give, simply because there are so many messages, so many cards. So today we're just keeping things a little bit simpler. We're doing these two decks and we're going to really get all of the messages out of the cards that do come out for you. So let's get started. Again, this is for the water elements. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This could be, thank you, this could be your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising, your ascendant. Okay, what was this first card that came out? The Eight of Swords. You guys are feeling trapped this August. Whoa. Okay. Five of Swords. Lots of intellectual energy. You're really thinking a lot. This could be you watching the news a lot and getting really absorbed by the information that is being thrown at you. But take that information with a grain of salt. It's someone's perspective on what is happening. Like this little, what is this guy? A little mole or a vole or something like that. He feels trapped in. He's got all of these swords around him, but there is space to move through them. There is space to leave this environment and find somewhere new. Six of Pentacles. With the Five of Swords, it's like you've been trying real hard to hone a skill, try real hard to make something happen. This could be maybe that you've been focusing on a manifestation and it's just not right. Whether, you feel like you've had 5 opportunities and maybe you've used 2 of them and they just weren't right. And it's just like, you feel like you're grasping at straws and nothing is coming out the way you want it to. With the Six of Pentacles, it's maybe there's someone who could help you, someone who could give you some more information. But again, like I was saying with this Eight of Swords, it's someone's perspective. Here you have this hen who is tending to the Six Pentacles and doing it all herself, but there's this other chicken here willing to help, willing to receive. If you're willing to give, there's someone willing to receive, and if you need to receive, there's often someone willing to give. Whether this is time, energy, money, skills. You can't harness all 5 of these swords at the same time, but maybe that's what you need to do. So you're going to need someone else's help in this situation. You might need someone else's help to be able to see the way out. Three of Swords. It's like you're caught up in the emotions of the event. We had lots of intellectual energy here with the swords, but it's like the emotions are blocking you from being able to see your truth within the situation. You're smart, you're intelligent people, but it's like you're being overwhelmed by the emotions. You're being overwhelmed by fear, by sadness, perhaps even anger. I also, just as I was looking at this, I heard that you cannot give when your cup is empty. You cannot give if you have nothing to give. So you may need to give to yourself this month. It might not be fighting for someone else, maybe fighting for yourself, allowing yourself to take time to process, to mourn. Whether it's, and mourn doesn't mean that someone is passing. It could be, the loss of an opportunity, the loss of, I don't know what else besides the loss of opportunity that I was going to say there. But I feel like maybe there was an opportunity, that you're struggling to do and you're feeling like you're missing out. Maybe it's because you haven't been able to do things because maybe you're struggling financially because of, the global circumstances. And it's okay to be sad, to be frustrated, to, there's a lot going on in the world right now. It's okay to feel. It's okay to feel emotions, but you don't need to be trapped by them. Perhaps it's time to shut down social media for a bit, shut off the news for a bit, and allow yourself to be with you. Allow yourself to be with your family, to be with people who you trust and you love. You only have so many coins. This hen only has 6 coins. Have you guys heard of I don't know what it's called. I want to call it the spoon theory, but I don't know what it's actually called. But it's just every day you only have so many spoons, and doing certain things takes away some of those spoons, right? You use those spoons up. And if you only have 8 spoons to use, or we'll say 8 swords to use, if getting out of bed in the morning, having a shower takes up a sword, if making yourself meals takes up a sword, if watching the news, maybe that takes away 3 swords, and then you've only got 3 left, what are you going to do with those? It's about balancing what you give your energy to. Today, is it worth giving your energy to social media where you may feel like you're losing time, losing energy, losing patience, losing love, gaining fear, gaining judgment? Is it worth that trade-off? Or do we need to just not even open the app on your phone today and just say, no, today is a day for me? How can you give to yourself when you're feeling stressed and fearful and judgment towards yourself, judgment towards the environment around you, judgment towards the world? How can you give to yourself and release that judgment? How can you see that from love instead of fear? You can give your coins, or you can be like, nope, I need to hold on to these. What if one day I will need these? Or what if one day you need it now? Or what if your friend needs it? What if you need that emotional support? You can't just hold on to it for another day. It's about balance, creating something that, another sword, creating an environment that you feel comfortable, that you feel safe in. with this panda, maybe it's time to take time for yourself, to rejuvenate. Take care of yourself and slow down. We don't need to rush through this decision. We don't need to rush through the emotions. Sometimes it's sitting with emotions and allowing yourself to feel that emotion. So often, especially when we're talking about negative emotions, we shrug it off. We distract ourselves with something else, and we just, we go for something else. We don't want to feel. We don't want to admit that we're having this emotion. We don't want to experience it. And this often leads us into a spiral, and often a downward spiral. But if we can slow down and we can see it as an emotion, as a temporary human experience, as just a part of the process, a part of life, but not a defining moment in your life, then maybe your perspective on the situation will be different. It's like you can see this Five of Swords as 5 opportunities, 5 different opportunities, and maybe not all of them will work, but maybe some of them will. You can see them as 5 challenges, 5 chances to not go right, 5 disappointments. You can see them as 5 opportunities, right? How do you see them? Do you see these swords as a barricade, as a block? Or do you see it as protection? Perspectives. Not everything is black and white. It's interesting. We have the panda, who is literally black and white. We have this bear, amazing, sharp claws, big, powerful animal. And yet it sits here slowly eating bamboo. So it's weird. We have this combination of like this cuddly looking teddy bear, but it's still a bear. You don't want to mess with the bear. It might not be a grizzly bear, but it's still a bear. It still has the capabilities of being, that fierce bear. And yet here it is. Even a lot of bears are in terms of their diet, a lot of bears eat berries, and they're not attacking big animals to get their nourishment. Polar bears are aggressive bears, but many bears are not, despite how impressive their physical stature is, right? Sometimes the most largest creatures or the largest people, not just physical stature, but the way that they perhaps impose themselves on a situation. Sometimes the biggest personalities are also the biggest teddy bears, the biggest soft, caring, compassionate people. Sometimes people with hard exteriors are just soft balls of mush inside, right? It's about perspective. Education. It's interesting. We have education and we've got all sorts of swords, which are very intellectual cards. So it's almost like you've been jumping to conclusions, really, perhaps even been in a very emotional state and not trusting the logical mind and really sitting in emotions. Thank you. Peaks of joy. Got a butterfly. transformation. It's interesting because education and learning can hinder us in so many ways. It can, close doors because we can sometimes, you all know someone who feels they are always right, they are always the smartest, they are always, they're throwing facts and figures and this and that into your face and being like, I am right, nothing else matters, right? Like, this is the truth, this is what I'm saying, and, end of conversation. But there's always two sides to every story. There's always facts that will contradict facts. There's facts that will support facts, there are facts that will contradict them. And so what is a fact? What is truth? So often we only know what we know. We don't know what we don't know. There's a small sliver of things that we know we don't know. But there is such a vast amount of things that we as a human species have no clue about, right? And so can you let the intellect and the emotions completely control your environment? Or can you trust your intuition, trust your instincts, trust your perspective on things to be able to see all those different sides to the story? I think this Peak of Joy card was the perfect way to end this reading, because we need to bring more joy into our life. Are we learning to be able to negate something else? So often we learn something because we want to prove someone else wrong, or we learn something because we're afraid of whatever it is. So if we can learn something more, then maybe that fear won't be there. But maybe we need to approach things from joy as opposed to from fear, from sadness. It's like if you are having a hard day and you're distracting yourself from what is going on, can you distract yourself from a place of joy rather than a place of fear? Or how can you step into that joy? Feel like August, you guys are stepping out of a dark cloud, but you do have to, or stepping out from under a dark cloud, but you do have to allow yourself to do that. It's not about adding on to remain under this cloud. You have to step out from under it and then see the possibilities. And to step out from under it, you have to welcome joy into your life. I hope that resonated, and I hope that gives you guidance coming into this month, into August. If you guys enjoyed this style of reading with the elements, please let me know either in the comments down below or give this video a thumbs up. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye.